What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. It is me, Trash Sauce, and today we're going to be doing the top 5 best cars in the compact series. So, let's pretty much get into it. Part of this is just my opinion, so feel free to be like, whatever, but, you know, if you have a different idea, then that's whatever. But this is my opinion. This is what I think. I just test drove all the cars. I'm going by handling and acceleration, boost acceleration as well, and then just general like drifting as well, because some cars in the muscle series have trouble drifting. So let's talk about the top 5 best compact cars. So starting with number 5, which I'm going like 5 whatever, and then number 1 will be the best compact car. So at number 5 we have the Tuned. Now I haven't attempted to record any of these top 5 videos before, so I don't know how I'm gonna articulate this 100%, but the Tuned is just all around a good car. It's got okay acceleration, it drifts pretty good, handling is pretty good, you know. It's just all around a good car, and it's one you get early on too, which is nice for if you're starting out. If you just get 4 golds, I think you unlock it. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to get, you know. So let's test this out. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It'd be kind of stupid if I didn't. See? Handling's pretty good. See, the handling, the response time is pretty quick. The drift's pretty good. Boost is pretty good. Acceleration's pretty good, you know. Even when I'm turning, it keeps the top speed pretty well. As you can see, the drifting is pretty good. And even when I'm boosting, the handling is still responsive. So, that's number 5. For number 4, we have the Compact Collector 1. Now, you're probably thinking, well, collector cars shouldn't count. Well, technically, they're cars in the series, so they're going to have to count. So, the Collector 1 is about the same as the Tuned. That's why it's right next to it. I'd say the only thing is it accelerates just a tad bit faster, although they're pretty much the exact same as far as stats go. I'll test this one out as well. The handling is pretty good because obviously this comes from the Dominator, so. See the handling? It's pretty responsive. Like, it might not look like it's accelerating too much, but when I boost, right up to 60. No questions asked, just right up to 60. 160, that is. So, well, that drift was crazy. So, like I said, the acceleration is meh, but the boost acceleration definitely pays it right back, because that is a lot faster and more immediate than the Tuned. And the reason why boost acceleration counts is because if you're in a race and you're just a little bit behind, you know, if you go to boost and your car doesn't do anything, because a lot of the cars in the muscle series for the worst list have a lot of boost acceleration problems, but this is an example of a good whatever car. The drifting is a little funny, but it does drift pretty good, and most importantly, it stops the drift. As you can see, I just stopped that drift pretty well. Some cars just like go right out of control. You know, like the classic Legend in the muscle series was one that did that pretty well. And the Compact Cop does that a lot. So, that is that. For number 3. Number 3, we have the Legend Compact. So, the reason why I have this one on here is for boost acceleration, and I think it's just a tad bit better. It's hard to say because the number 5, 4, and 3 are all pretty good. So it's hard to say which one's the best. They're all pretty much the same. But this one's pretty good. The handling, hold on. The handling is pretty good. It's a little sluggish, but compared to the worst ones, it's definitely a good one. So again, it accelerates up a little bit slowly, but when you boost, I mean, look at that. I'd say that's a little bit faster than the compact collector one as far as boost acceleration. The drift is a lot better. And another reason why I'm ranking this one a little bit higher than the collector one is because it's a lot more accessible. You just do the face-off and you can get it, whereas the collector one is by chance. And that's the reason why some of these collector cars are going to be on these lists, mostly because of their accessibility. It kind of hinders them. Whereas cars like the Dominator, you pretty much just get it after like doing 1 or 2 races because of the burnout point. Which, speaking of the Dominator, that is our number 2. So our second best compact car is the Dominator. Now you're probably thinking, well, what could possibly beat the Dominator? I'm going to get to that soon. Because the number 1 spot is pretty much the same as number 2. But so there's the sound. I'm showing off the sounds too. The handling is insane. The tuned and this probably have the same level of handling, I'm guessing, maybe. And the collector one. The general acceleration is a little bit faster, and the boost acceleration is the best out of anybody. And another reason why the Dominator goes up here, a lot of the Dominators are going to be pretty high on the best list, is because this goes to 165. All the Dominators have a higher top speed, and their acceleration is supposed to be better too, because they're supposed to be lighter, according to Burnout 3. So that's why this car made the list, because it can technically go faster than the rest, which has a good point. So, plus it looks cool, but looks can't really be judged because that's all opinion. So, number 1, best compact car, in my opinion, is the Collector 2. Now you're probably thinking, you're probably laughing, like, how is this thing better than the Dominator? Believe it or not, it's just the main acceleration is so much better. So if you crash, your response, you're able to get back to where you were a lot better, Your recovery speed is a lot better when you crash. And not to mention, this thing is really good at road rage as well, which is another good point. And the boost acceleration is pretty good. The handling's pretty good. It's like what the Dominator can do, but it's got a few better characteristics. And I'll show that one off too. And it sounds cooler. See, the acceleration's already going up a lot more, because the other cars were a little bit slower. I'd say the Dominator is probably not much slower than this. The boost acceleration is very good, almost as good as the Dominator. It only maxes out at 160 because that's the max for a compact series. Drifting is probably the worst thing about this car. It's not drifting as, I mean, no, that was a pretty good one. The drifting is not as good as the Dominator. But for road rage, this thing's really good. And the main acceleration is what really, because like, let's say you're in a race and you crash. Oh no, the guy is driving away. This acceleration is so good. The recovery is so much better, assuming you don't have any boost. And if you have boost, the boost acceleration is also really good too. So you're going to be right back to 160. Now, if you're going against a Dominator, you might be in trouble, because if they got 165 top speed, then that's really it. But you're probably thinking, well, this is a Collector 2. What if I don't get it? And I'm like, well, I think that also kind of adds to it. It's a pro and a con with the collector cars. Because it's like, you have a chance of not getting it, but you have a chance of getting it, and that rarity, I think, adds more value to the car. So, it's whatever, but also, you know, getting the cars wasn't so hard when the game came out, you know. When the game came out, people were playing servers, and you could do collector challenges all day, and you can get all the cars pretty quickly if you're pretty good at the game. So, that's pretty much that. That is my top 5 best compact cars. This is the first one of the top 5 stuff I'm doing, so sorry if the quality's meh. But I'm going to be doing top 5 worst and best for each series, and then at the end I'm going to do a top 10 best cars and Burnout. So, that will be that. If you guys enjoyed this video, I'll see you guys in the next one.